going, guys? Coming at you here right now on my way back to Funky Monkey. If you see my after video of my vehicle, you notice that it has a badass lift, and let me tell you, I love it. As far as on-road compared to what it used to be, which was my factory, great. It feels firm. It has tightness to it, so it has good manners. It performs way better than what I used to have, and not to give the factory stuff any negativity. The only thing I can say is that my shocks were worn out. My vehicle had 78,000 miles and they were still the factory one, so I couldn't tell you exactly what it would drive like when it was brand new when it came off the showroom. But for the most part, this feels, to me, I love it. I love the way it feels. Now, on to the bad. The reason I'm going back to Funky Monkey, if you can't hear it, I have engine noise, and it's that little buzzing sound that comes out of a radio, okay? And that's because I have the radio turned off and you can still hear it. So if you notice, I replaced all my factory speakers with Rockford Fosgates. It's an upgrade to what I had. I really liked it. I've heard them before, so that's what I like. They put in the 8-inch Fosgate pod tower, marine tower speakers in the back, and in the bottom I've got a little knob to control the volume on those. But right now, let me put it to you this way, guys. I got invited to go out to the beach with a friend of mine, and for the most part I was embarrassed to go because of the way my stereo sounds. It sounds like crap, and when you pay this much money, I'm not happy. But this is not to say that these guys aren't good guys, because one of the things that I look for in a shop that I go, this is the way I work. I'll take my vehicle to you, or ask you for your services. If you screw me once and you do bad service and you don't fix the problem and you make up excuses, which you probably have heard, I walk away. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. Some people will, like a pit bull, won't let it go, and they'll just pound them and bother them. I got more important things to do, guys. I'm not going to sit there and hound them. I will go up there and make my complaints and voice my dissatisfaction, but at that point, if they're not going to be willing to do anything about it at that point, for me to force them, I got other things in my life that are worth more than me just to be on a negative wave trying to convince them to make it right. So what I do is I don't go back to that place. I pretty much will just ignore you. I'll give you bad reviews, and just like on my channel here and my other channel that I have, you're gonna hear about it, and you're gonna karma comes back. That's the way I feel. That's the way I believe things go. So this guy had an issue last time with my truck. He's worked on my truck before. He took care of me. As soon as I picked up my Jeep and I drove it back, I could tell right away this wasn't right, stereo wasn't right. I was texting him back and forth. We were going back and forth with it. He says, "Don't worry, brother, bring it back. I'm going to take care of it." That's what I look for, guys, because guarantee you, nobody's perfect. Nobody's going to be able to give you a perfect service every time. Especially on automobiles. Sometimes they miss something. They don't catch everything. It happens. But more importantly, which makes me believe where I go back and where I believe I will give anybody recommendations is, do they make it right? Do they fix the problem? Do they put it to the way it was or better? And do it without it coming to you and out of your pocket when they know that they did it wrong. And that's the other reason why I also will recommend Christian Brothers. I may have recommended them on one of my other videos, but again, I had a problem with my Jeep. I took it to them. They did all the brakes on them, replaced the rotors, replaced the pads. They even flushed the brake fluid. The brake fluid was dark. said, go ahead, replace it. So they did all that. Well, my front brakes locked up. As soon as I took the Jeep and went out and did a little cruise, my brakes in the front were locking up, literally locking up. They were smoking as I was doing it. I called them and said, bring it right back. Took it right back to them. Turns out the brake lines were clogged. And one of the guys there owns a Jeep, and he says, you know what? I didn't think about it. He goes, I had to do that on my Jeep. I just thought it was my thing. I didn't think it was something specific to Jeeps. And FYI for you guys, for the JKs, he has a JK too, an older model. His is, I think, a 9 or 10. This is a 12. But he told me that on the brake lines, when he did his brake job on his Jeep, the brake lines clogged. And basically didn't allow the brakes to perform correctly. So what did they do? They replaced the rotors because the rotors got ruined. They replaced the pads got ruined, and they replaced the brake lines on the front on the front rotors. Those are where I had the problem. And guess what, guys? They didn't charge me a penny. They didn't charge me nothing. They fixed it. They made it right, and that was the way I believe things should be done. So guess what? I go back to them for anything I need, whether it's my truck or my Jeep or whatever it is, and I will recommend them 100%. They do it right, and they know that they're the ones, because when I took the Jeep in, I said, hey guys, I need it full service. I just bought this Jeep. I want it all completely fluids and whatever it needs, and they're the ones that recommended everything. And they say, it was their bad, but the problem is, again, they couldn't figure out and know. Nobody would know that the brake lines were clogged. They worked fine when they were testing them out and when they were getting them all ready. But I understand. I mean, I have some mechanical abilities, and I understand how the brake lines work. So, it's just something that couldn't be seen until you go out there and you drive the thing for a couple of days, which is what I did, and that's how I found out. So, but they made it right. So at the end of the day, they learned something. They know how to handle a Jeep JK next time. You guys learned something. I learned something. Everybody knows now. Whenever you do your brake jobs, check your brake lines. Replace them if you haven't, if they're the original ones. Especially if you got 50, 60,000 miles on them and you're doing a brake job, because that can cause you a problem later on down the road. Anyways, before I go off on my rant, I just wanted to go ahead and let you guys know I'm taking it back right now. I'll follow up, of course, in this same video, let you know what was the outcome of the situation. I'm not happy with the woofer. I have the factory Infinity system, so I have an 8-inch woofer in the back. I don't know if it's hooked up or not. I don't know if they tied it in to my system, but I'm going to find out, because I do like a little bit of, I like a little bit of bump. So, I'm not crazy and want to fill the back space with all sorts of woofers. I still got to have space to do my stuff, the things that I like to do, and go out on trails, which I do plan on doing with this Jeep. But, I need to find out if what can be done, if they're going to use my factory woofer, or maybe just upgrade the woofer itself, or just go with a whole new box. I don't know yet. I'll figure it out when I get there. But I'll give you all a heads up. I'll give you all an update, let y'all know. All right. Y'all have a good one. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.